Hey guys, Shadowmaster EX here, and I'm bringing you the third episode of Trainer Card Wednesday. And today, people, we are going to dive into the Hoenn region. Arguably my favorite region. I love 3rd Gen with a passion. There's so many awesome Pokemon from 3rd Gen, so it's really hard to just pick 6. But what made it easier is the fact that on X and Y, I currently don't have very many Hoenn Pokemon. So, I kind of just constructed a team out of what I had around. It's not, by all means, the best, but I don't think it's the worst. I think it's a pretty decent team to, have, and I think it's just more of a fun team, really, because there are a lot of really good Pokemon on this team. So, starting off, we have Bravery the Swellow, and I love Swellow, oh my lord. It's probably my favorite, little early on route bird Pokemon you can catch, because I like Staraptor, but I think I like this a little more, even though it doesn't hit as hard as a Staraptor, but it still hits respectively. This set utilizes the Flame Orb in combination with the Guts ability, so the burn will be negated, so your attack is no longer cut in half, and you get the boost because of Guts. And we run a Jolly Nature because Swellow is naturally pretty fast, so having him in a Jolly Nature utilizes his best potential, which is his speed. That is definitely his best stat. And in conjunction with Guts and our Flame Orb, we run Facade, nice and powerful normal stat, hits like a truck. Roost for when you're low on health. Honestly, you gotta play Roost. You gotta play it by ear, really, because you don't want to go for a Roost and then just get one-shotted, because Swellow's defenses are in no means the greatest. But if you can time your Roost perfectly, you can get some decent use out of a Swellow. In case your matchup is bad, however, that's why we run U-Turn, and we run Brave Bird as a powerful flying-type stab. Next, we have another, oh my lord, we have another one of my absolute favorite Pokemon, and I told you guys back in the Regeneration Lock way early on that we could have had this Pokemon, but a Simisage ruined my fun. It's Aaron the Milotic. I named my Milotics Aaron because Aaron is a character who's known for her beauty in my novels, because I am an author, I'm published. If you guys care about that, I don't know if you do, you're on YouTube, so I don't know what your reading preferences are, but if you care, just drop a comment and ask about it. But back to the Pokemon set. We have leftovers because Milotic is a bulky Pokemon, and we run Bold Nature so it can be more defensive as opposed to specially defensive, because we do have another Pokemon on this team that has better special defense. And then when we have our Marvel scale up, it's all the same, really. When you run Recover on and Mirror Coat, it's pretty cool, because you can bounce back special attacks with Mirror Coat, and you can recover if you've taken too many physical attacks, or if you've taken too many special attacks that you didn't deflect with Mirror Coat. We run Scald for we run Scald for Stab and Ice Beam for coverage, in case we have to deal with annoying dragon types. Next, we have our own dragon type, Grandina, which is actually the name's a fairy tale reference. That is the Sky Dragon, because this isn't a Wendy, this really isn't a Wendy. Salamence is too powerful, too brutal, rips too many holes in teams to be Wendy. So, we run Life Orb, Jolly Nature, and Intimidate. We deter those physical attackers while we attack ourselves. Well, we don't attack ourselves, but we physically attack our opponents with a moveset of Dragon Claw. You can run Outrage if you want. I don't like Outrage anymore. I like it, but not as much as I used to, because with fairy types running around, you switch one in, and then you're locked, and then you don't do any damage, which is considerably worse than what we used to deal with last gen, where you just switch in a Steel type and you just don't hit them very hard. So, I run Dragon Claw so I can switch in case I get in that situation. Crunch for coverage, Fire Fang for coverage, because outside of that, our whole other moveset's pretty much just walled by Ferrothorn, which is predominantly seen in the OU metagame because it is a very annoying, very annoying setup Pokemon who will just set up all the hazards and just ruin your day. And we also run Zen Headbutt for coverage. I'm rethinking the moveset. I think I kind of want Earthquake instead of Zen Headbutt. And I might want to replace Crunch too with maybe like Dragon Dance. Probably. I recommend that. This set works a little bit. I'm pretty sure Earthquake, D-Dance, Earthquake, D-Dance, Fire Fang, Dragon Claw. I'm pretty sure that's a little safer than what we've got right now. But for now, this is what we've got. And next, we have John, the Torkoal. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know why I named my Torkoal John, but I did. And I like John, he's a cool little guy. I give him a rocky helmet, just so we can get some added damage. We're bold nature, so we can take physical hits. And while we're taking those physical hits, we're also dealing damage back to the opponent. We run Lava Plume as a powerful stab move. Instead of Eruption, because to be honest, Eruption's kind of one of those risky moves, because if you have that on a Pokemon who's slow, which, believe me, Torkoal is slow, if you run that, there's a good chance you're going to get hit to a point where your Eruption won't even do anything, so it's not worth running on Torkoal. Then we have Rapid Spin to get rid of any entry hazards placed on our side of the field, Earthquake for coverage, and Stealth Rock, because entry hazards are really powerful. Because switching is a really predominant thing when you're in competitive battling. So if you can have your opponent be taking consistent Stealth Rock damage, especially if they have like a flying type on their team, or even if you see like a Charizard come in, that's really good. Because it'll deter your opponent from switching in certain types, because they'll take more damage than other types will. And it'll even get them rethinking how many times they switch too, which can work in your favor. Next, we have Gardevoir, our Mega. Again, with another Fairy Tail reference, I chose Levy because, well, Gardevoir is an intelligent and compassionate Pokemon. Levy is an intelligent and compassionate member of the Fairy Tail Guild, so I thought it worked out. Our item, of course, is the Gardevoirite, modest nature with the ability Synchronize. It's good if someone wants to stall you, so if they go for Toxic on you, or if you switch into one, or even any other status. By other, I pretty much mean Paralysis or Burn, because you can't pass the other two. But it's good to switch in. You can save a Pokemon you want from getting that status, like Salamence, and Burn, switch it over to Levy, and then bounce it over to your opponent. We don't have Recovery, which does stink. I wish we did, but we don't. Because there's so many sets you can run on a Gardevoir, and Recovery is just not one that I had on mine. But I am thinking about, in the near future, working on some new Pokemon, and that might be one of the things I do. But we run Moonblast and Psychic as stab for our types, being Fairy and Psychic. And then we run Light Screen and Reflect as a bit of support for the rest of the team, and also support for Levy, because our physical defense is terrible. But our special defense isn't too bad, so if we get up a Light Screen on a special attacker, we'll take nothing. Almost. If we get up the Reflect next, we'll be set, and then we can start going for our attacks. And last, but certainly not least, I find this incredibly fitting. We had Levy before, now we have Gajeel, the Agron, and I'm pretty sure you guys understand that that's another Fairy Tail reference, and you can probably see why I did that. Agron looks like a dragon, and he's steel, and he's a monster, and he's so powerful. We run the Rocky Helmet on him as well, because his defense is amazing. Relaxed nature and sturdy too. That's guaranteed damage on the opponent as long as they're a physical attacker. If you take out all their special attackers first, they're going to have a problem with this guy. We also run Earthquake, Roar, Iron Head, and Rock Slide. 1 move for coverage, 2 moves for stab, and 1 move to be used in conjunction with Stealth Rocks, because we can force our opponent out, because we know we'll take at least 1 hit thanks to the sturdy, so long as there aren't rocks on our side of the field. And we can just keep putting that damage on our opponent, because they're going to be forced out, and we might even bring in their Charizard, or, I don't know, maybe their Articuno. I don't think they're gonna have an Articuno. I don't think anyone really will, but forcing a flying type in on rocks is pretty awesome. It's very awesome. So that's pretty much it for today's episode of Trainer Card Wednesday. Let me know down below, what is your favorite Pokemon we covered this week? And if we didn't cover your favorite from 3rd gen, who is your favorite from 3rd gen? Mine would probably have to be Sceptile or Milotic, but I could not fit Sceptile on this team. So, have a good day, guys, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.